Hi guys! Welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be doing another landscape painting tutorial and I'm just excited to do this one for you because it's quite not I don't want to call it easy, but I think it's more fun to do because we'll be doing a lot of foliage today, which is one of my favorite subjects, and we'll be using colors that are most common to you, and I think if not all of you, most of you have these colors already. So let me tell you the colors that we'll be using for today's painting tutorial, and I will be linking down below in the description box the link to the reference image that we'll be using for this painting tutorial. It's from Pexels or Pixabay. I'll just link down the link below. So again, the colors that we'll be using for today's painting tutorial will be as follows. We have titanium white, burnt sienna, black, phthalo green, and mid yellow, or you can use your cadmium yellow. And that's it, guys. So let's begin now. So we're going to underpaint first my canvas, but first I want to show you the sketch of how this painting will look like. So I'm just going to get my burnt sienna just to show you guys. So we're going to make like some hill right here, and there will be a huge tree like so. And another tree just right beside it like so. And everything else will be branches and foliage. So what I'm gonna do now is to use my burnt sienna and continue the sketch. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of black to that. And let's just do some branches already, because as I told you, this will be quite easy and fun maybe. So this will be covered with a lot of foliage. So I'm doing first the branches because I feel like it will be much easier for me to finish this one before I proceed to doing the foliage, because you know, foliage, you simply cover the branches with some greens and yellows and maybe some dark greens, but the branches should be there already so that you actually know where the leaves are gonna go. We'll also be doing some light play. So there are some branches that go even down here. Like that. This looks a little weird for now, but trust me, we're We're going to make sense out of this, guys. So you can make thinner branches by gently applying, or don't put so much pressure when you press onto your canvas using your brush. Alright, so I'm just gonna use the same color, burnt sienna. You can even add black to color the tree trunks, because we'll be adding more details later. For now, let's just have some fun doing this stuff. All right, even here. Just a combination of brown and black. And we'll be adding some more grasses and some fallen leaves down here later. For now, we're still in the stage of underpainting our canvas. Like that. You can actually use a bigger or thicker brush, but I chose to stick with my flat brush. All right, for now it's gonna be like that. And then let's do the same thing here on the next one. Just try to underpaint it. Like that. All right. All right, now let's just allow this paint to dry for now before we do some detailing on the tree trunks. Although I actually have here with me, just right beside me, my hair dryer to dry things a little quicker. But let's make the most out of this, out of our time, by proceeding to doing the foliage. Ooh, where did I get this from? Alright, so now for the foliage, I'm just gonna use a round stiff brush, and I might change to another brush later, but for now, for underpainting purposes, I'm just gonna use a round stiff brush to create some random foliage and to create some darkness and depth when it comes to the foliage. So for the depth, I'm just gonna use some dark green. So I'm just gonna dab onto my phthalo green. I'm gonna add black to that to make some dark greeny color. Maybe add a tiny bit of yellow. Again, black or brown, it's up to you guys, as long as you tone the color down. And I'm just gonna dab it on. You can use sponge for this step. And I'm just gonna color first the sides or the corners. This is for depth purposes, and to suggest some absence of light. in some areas, like that. And here. So just randomly add some dark colors, like that. All right, now I'm gonna get some phthalo green. I'm gonna mix it with yellow to make some yellow greeny color, like this. But I did not wash my brush because I kind of like the overlapping colors. Now I'm gonna add some tiny bit of white to my green to make some muted light green. Okay, I'm gonna add tiny bit of yellow to add some variety. Again, you can use a sponge for this step. This is just a fun painting that you can actually immediately put on display when you want some decoration inside your house. Right, I'm gonna get my yellow. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of brown. Again, we need some variety of colors. We do not need, or we do not want flat green or flat yellow. Right, I'm gonna use just yellow this time. The light is coming from the center, that's why as you go to the center, the colors of the leaves are getting lighter and lighter. All right, I'm gonna get my yellow, maybe plus white, and tiny bit of brown. Like that. Alright, and then we're going to make some details now for the tree trunks. After doing the foliage, alright, we'll add some more depth later. For now, let's just allow this to dry, because as we layer, I think we need some more time to dry things a little bit. All right, so for the details on the tree trunk, I'm just gonna use my burnt sienna, cadmium yellow, white. All right, and then I'm just gonna make some details. This is to suggest where the light is coming from. We are still in the stage of underpainting it because we really haven't done any detailing just yet. And we will be using our palette knives later just to create a little more details. Alright, maybe I'm gonna add a tiny bit of branch. Alright, like that. And I'm using black for more detailing. But again, we'll be using our palette knives later for more little details. Alright, if you hear a child crying, that's my neighbor's child. I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, just so you know. Right. Then I'm gonna use my yellow. I'm gonna mix that with the light browny color that I have here. I'm gonna add white. This is for more highlights that we're going to use for the tree trunks. Like that. Okay, now we're going to add more foliage. I'm gonna use my brush number 12. It's quite stiff and I think this is good for foliage as well. So I'm just gonna use this brush to create more foliage. I did not wet my brush, so I'm just gonna go ahead and dab onto my black straight away and maybe some green to create some dark color for more detailing. Just going to dab on some shadowed leaves. All right, like that. All right, like that. And then I'm gonna wash it now, but I'm gonna remove the excess water so that we still do some dry brushing. I'm gonna dab onto my yellow and white. So just mix your yellow and white. And again, we'll be using the dry brush technique. we're trying to yellow the center because this is where the light is gonna go. So I'm just gonna apply some yellow colors right here. Like that. As you can see, I just glaze it with that color. I'm gonna use the same color just to glaze down here. Okay, now I'm gonna use my white, pure white. And I'm just gonna apply it right here on the center. Okay, again. Okay, and then I'm gonna allow that first to dry because I kind of like to layer when the first layer or the previous layer is dry. All right. So it's gonna be like that so that we do the light effect. All right. And now let's go back to making some more foliage down here or grasses. I'm gonna dab onto my green color. Maybe add burnt sienna to tone down the color. Okay. And maybe a tiny bit of yellow just to make it quite visible, and maybe white. So it's like muted green. If you have what they call this color, green oxide, I think that will do as well. So I'm just going to dab on here to create some grasses. Maybe here. Okay. And again, I'm just going to add more foliage because I feel like it needs more foliage. I feel like my tree is quite lacking some foliage. All right, and then some more greeny colors right here. All right. Okay, now I'm gonna use my ordinary square brush and I'm gonna dab onto my black. And I just want to make sure that we create some shadows. Again, create smaller branches to be more realistic. I'm going to make some cracks on the tree trunks. We haven't used the palette knife as I told you, but we will be using it later. For now, let's just go. Alright, now I think we have to use the palette knife for more detailing. And again, we'll be going back to the foliage later because I want to create more foliage. So let's go and use our palette knife. So the palette knife, there's no particular size of palette knife for this one. I'm using an old palette knife that I haven't removed the paint from, because I kind of like the texture that this creates, the roughness of the dried paint that have accumulated. So I really like it. So I'm just gonna dab onto my burnt sienna and add white and yellow like this color. So it's like this. I'm not blending too well so that the yellow, the brown, and the white still shows when I do the palette knife. I don't know how this is going to result, but I'm just gonna use it and apply it this way. My palette knife is quite rough. It's so rough that I'm trying my best to apply the paint, but because it's quite rough, you can actually hear how rough it is, but I kind of like the effect. Alright. And here as well, I'm gonna add a tiny bit of white. Alright, okay, this is just too rough. I think I have to use another palette knife, which is quite flatter. So I'm just gonna use the same color. So again, I did not know how it's gonna result, but I think I need a more flat knife because I need to flatten some areas like that. Like that. Alright, now I'm gonna dab onto my black. Okay, using the same amount of pressure, I'm just gonna apply some black paint. Sometimes horizontal, sometimes vertical. That is to create more texture, more irregular patterns that suggest naturalism, which is my favorite painting style. Right, like that. I wonder how. Yes, like that. So we'll be going back to painting the light later because I think this area is already dry. Okay, so I think that was good. Now I'm going back to my brown and then yellow color and white. Okay, and I'm going to use this color to highlight some areas of the tree trunks. I'm using a lot of water to create some markings that look so rough and natural. Okay, I'm going to use some burnt sienna. To really create that, you know, natural look that I really want for my tree trunks. All right, like that. All right, we'll wash your brush out. And then I'm gonna use my white, okay, pure white, to brighten this area. This is the light source, so it should be really, really bright. All right, like that. Then I'm gonna dab on some tiny bit of white in between those foliage. I'm gonna allow this to dry, like so. And then let's go back to doing some more foliage. So I'm just gonna get my round stiff brush to add some more volume. I'm gonna get my black. Okay, I'm gonna get my brown plus yellow plus green. It's like this color. Because not all leaves are green, there are some browny colors. Just randomly apply those brown leaves. Alright, I'm gonna get my pure yellow this time. Mixing it with whatever color that it's that's on my paintbrush. And I'm just gonna apply it quite randomly. Even down here. Alright, like that. I'm gonna get my dark green color. Just add more volume, as volumized as you want. But make sure to leave some spaces in between those foliage to suggest some light source, and that is the background open area. All right. Okay, now I think I have to use my hair dryer just to dry things quicker. So I'm just gonna get my hair dryer. I think that will do. So now I'm thinking I should glaze my painting with some yellow color. So I'm just gonna get a huge brush for glazing purposes. And I'm gonna dab onto my yellow. I'm just gonna get my fresh yellow because I don't want to contaminate my white paint. So I'm gonna get my cadmium yellow plus white. All right, like this color. And we're going to use water for this purpose. We're going to glaze some areas, especially the middle portion, to suggest light. Again, do this very gently. Do not overdo this step. You always keep with you or place beside you a rag so that when you do excessively, you can simply erase it immediately. So I'm just gonna glaze it and use my hand. Here. Right. Like so. Like that. All right, that's nice. Now I'm gonna get my white again. And I'm gonna make sure that this space here remains to be the light source by making it quite brighter compared to the other open areas or spaces. Like so. Right, like that. I'm gonna dab on some white in between foliage. Just do it quite randomly, guys. Don't overdo the step. Like that. Alright. Alright. Now I'm gonna go back to yellow. So again, your yellow, and then just go around the white. Like that. Okay. All right. Now, this is all right, but I think I need to add some more like details on the soil and foliage as well. I'm gonna make a mid-green color. So like this color, guys. Let's make some more foliage. Like that. These are just tiny details. That I really like when it comes to foliage. Alright, and then I'm gonna dab on to my black. Let's make some more detailing on the tree trunk. Let's make it more natural looking. Like that. Okay. I think I need to add a tiny bit of little branches. Okay, I'm gonna add white to my light brown color. To highlight even more the tree near the light source. like that. All right. This is nice, guys. This is so nice. Oh my gosh. Right? Right. I love it. I love it so much. Nice. Wow. All right. All right. Just like that. And of course, white. And some yellow. Like that. All right. This is nice. Oh my gosh. I think I have to sign this now because it's done. Right? What do you think, guys? Should I sign this now? Just adding some hints of browns. Okay, I think I have to sign this now, and I'm gonna sign right here. And we're done. We're done, guys. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. We're done, guys. So see you in my next video. I hope you enjoyed this one. I'll be linking down and up here on this video some other videos that may be of interest to you. So see you in my next video, and I hope you have a great day.